So, hello. In this section, we are going to learn about the box model, the content box model, how it is going to be. So, for that, I have made one HTML file and another the CSS file having a name equal to box model dot CSS HTML and the box model dot CSS. And I have done one simple coding. First, the title I have added and then linked both the HTML and the CSS files. Inside the body, I have just made one div element and given an ID of having the div1. In the CSS, I have set only the background color and the width and the height for the div1 ID. Now, after opening in browser, you can know that this will appear like this. So what all elements are there outside this? You can see that first the content is there, after that content padding is there, after that padding border is there, and after that border margin is there. Margin is not the part of the tag, that element margin is not the part. So we have, what are the things that we have? First the content will be there. First the content will be there, and after that we will have suppose some padding value. Suppose some padding value, and outside that we will have border. This is the border that we will have, and outside that we will have margins. So this is going to be, here we have not set any border and all, so it is saying it is to be 0. You can click on inspect and just click over here. You can see that div1 has 200 cross 200. Now I'm going to set some properties like the border and all. I'm going to set the border in our code. Div1 having some border, and its value I'm going to mention to be width. I'm going to mention as 2px. It's of solid type, and color I'm going to mention is red. Just save it using Ctrl S, and now refresh the page. You can see that red border has been added. Border has been added. Now when we come over here, the border is of 2px size. We have set the border of 2px height. So overall height going to be is of 204 cross 204. You can see the you can see here it is of 204 cross 204, right? Because 4 is of what? The border height, 2 up and 2 down. Here also you can see 2 up and 2 down. Two up. So height is of 204 and width is also of 204. Right. Now I'm going to add the padding value, some padding value. Then see what happens. Padding equal to 2px. Suppose I'm adding. Now refresh the page. You can see that padding has also been added. Now see, padding is of 2 left and right, and on bottom and top. So in bottom also 200, 2 to 4 and 2 to 4. Already height has been added by 8 in 200, and left and right also 8 has been added. So now after adding the padding, we have got the size to be of 208 cross 208. Right. So after adding the padding, we have got the size as 208 cross 208. You can even inspect it by selecting over here and click on this. You can see that the size has been 208 cross 208, right? Now I'm going to add the margins. Now let's see whether any change comes to that or not. Currently the size is 208 cross 208. I'm writing it over here. Thus currently the size is 208 cross 208. Now let's see after adding the margins whether any change come or not. So let's add margin as 4px, margin 4px. Just save it using Control S and now refresh the page. You can see margin of 4px has been added, but let's inspect it over here. What is the current size? You can see that the current size is also 208 cross 208. It is not added of the margin part. See, it is now also 208 cross 208. So it has not added of the margin part. Margin is of outside element, right? It's an outside property, so it is not added to the dev element. So the thing that is added is the content part, the padding part, and the border part. This whole thing get added in the div element, the element inside which all the things are there. So this is the content box model. This is called the content box model. This is called content box model. The content box model we have understood. Now the second model is the border box model. So we have seen the content box model. Now we have the border box model. So let's remove this part. So let's come to the border box model. What the border box model says. Suppose we have mentioned the content part to be of 200px square and 200px cross 200px. Then after that we add any padding, border and all. Then all these things will come under the 200px cross 200px, and the content element will adjust itself to a value to adjust the border and padding values, right? So let's see how we can do that. For that, the property used for using different different box model is the box sizing property. Box sizing, change it to border box. Just save it using Control S and now refresh the page. After refreshing the page, let's inspect it. you can see that the size of the content has changed from 200 cross 200 to 192 cross 192 because content has adjusted itself for the border and the padding. We have the two left and two right for the border and padding, means 8 overall for border and padding in the widthness. So the width has been changed to 192 and adjusted, content has adjusted itself. And similarly for the vertical height also, the content has adjusted itself. So the two box model that we have seen is the border box model and the content box model. Content box model, when we refer to any size, that size is for the content only, and additional sizes has been added for the border and padding. But for the border box model, additional size is not added for the border and padding. By default,